Games new to me. Please like and subscribe.
Hey guys, Rob here for Games New to Me, and today we're doing something a little bit different with Wrestlemania coming up this Sunday. That's Wrestlemania 33. Jeez, it's been 33. Wow. I remember watching the first one. I am that old. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to do some predictions and see which ones come out correctly and which ones just, complete and utter failure. So let's go through the matches that are listed, and I'll give you my predictions for WrestleMania 33. Now, some of them I will have thoughts about how the matches will end. Some of them I'm just going to predict a winner because I either don't care that much or I really don't know. So, having said that, let's start out with the undercard, or the pre-show, which features first, at least on the WWE website, it says the WWE Cruiserweight Championship match, kickoff match. Neville, who is the champion, versus the one and only, the greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries. Now, who do I think is going to win that one? I would be shocked if it wasn't Austin Aries. I expect this to be an absolutely incredible thrill ride of a match. I think it's gonna be just, there's gonna be brawling, there's gonna be high flying, there's gonna be some crazy stuff, and I think Austin Aries is going to win by submission. And this is definitely not the last time these two will meet, and they may even trade the title back and forth a little bit to build up some hype for 205 Live and the Cruiserweight division, which I think is a fabulous idea. Well, anything that builds up the Cruiserweight division is a fabulous idea. I mean, who knows? Just as an aside, I've been thinking if there are going to be any surprises showing up, like Finn Balor or whatever. I honestly don't think we're going to have that many. Maybe one, but I don't think it's going to be Finn Balor. I think if he does make a return, it'll be the following night on Monday Night Raw. But I don't know. I don't know. Some of these matches are hard to call. Some of them are really easy. Although, watch the easy ones turn out to be wrong for me. Next up, we've got the SmackDown Women's Championship match. It's also a kickoff match, which means it's on the pre-show. We have champion Alexa Bliss to defend against all female SmackDown Live superstars who are available to compete. Keyword there being available to compete. This is the one match that I think we're going to see a surprise entrant, and I think that surprise entrant is going to win the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. I hope it is not Eva Marie. I understand, or I'm hearing rumors that WWE decided not to renew her contract, so I'd be shocked if it was Eva Marie. Although maybe that's like a parting gift, which I hope isn't the case, because that would just suck so hard. But if it's not a surprise entrant, then I'm going to probably go with Mickie James. Let's go with Mickie James. If it's not a surprise entrant, because it does say available to compete, so that means it could be anybody. Somebody that hasn't been on TV in the longest time, or somebody who's just coming into the company, or whatever. But if it's not that, then it's Mickie James, I think. Next, we have the 4th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which is also on what they call the kickoff show, or kickoff match, which means it's on the pre-show, and it's featuring Big Show, Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman, Apollo Crews, Mojo Rawley, and more. And who do I think is going to win this one? I think this one's a no-brainer, and I'd be shocked. I mean, I would be flabbergasted. I would be just besides myself if it wasn't Braun Strowman. And how do I think that the Battle Royal is going to end? I think that the last two entrants, or the last two combatants is, getting tongue-tied. I think the last two combatants will be Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn. And as the last two combatants, I believe that Braun Strowman is going to eliminate Sami Zayn after Sami Zayn has some moments where he looks like, oh my god, he might pull this off. Look, he's going to have his WrestleMania moment. I think he will have a WrestleMania moment, but I think Braun Strowman's going over on this one. Next, we have the Raw Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Ladder Match. Why is this a ladder match now? I have no idea. It just is. It suddenly is. I absolutely hate the way Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have been treated on the roster since they came in. They've been kind of a joke, and they're just an amazing tag team, and they have not been given the opportunity to show how amazing they are. In fact, the whole tag team division, which seemed to be doing so well before the brand split, is now back in the dumps on both shows. But anyway, as far as the Raw Tag Team Championship Triple Threat Ladder Match, who's gonna win? I suspect that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson will retain, but, and there is a big but, they are going to lose the Tag Team Championships to Enzo and Kaz the following night on Raw. It's happened before. We've seen it a bunch of times. Big win at WrestleMania, then lose the championship the following night on Raw. And, you know, people tune in for that. But at least they're going to, in my opinion, they're going to retain at WrestleMania, which is something that'll be remembered, while Raw will, even though they'll lose at Raw, it won't be as remembered. So Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson will retain at WrestleMania 33. Next, we've got the Intercontinental Championship match. Dean Ambrose, champion, versus Baron Corbin. This one, I have a feeling this is going to be a heel-heavy WrestleMania as far as wins, because I've got Baron Corbin winning this one. It just makes sense. Dean Ambrose does not need a championship. Dean Ambrose is over big time with the fans. I mean, he is way over. I was at a WWE house show a couple of weeks ago. It was a SmackDown show, and Dean Ambrose came out, and the place just erupted. I mean, I think the only other pop of the crowd that night that was anything close to as big was probably the only other pop that was nearly as big, if not bigger, was Randy Orton. So Dean Ambrose is over big time. But having said that, Baron Corbin will defeat... Oh, by the way, at the house show, it was Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin, and Dean Ambrose won by disqualification when Baron Corbin hit him with a steel chair, and he left, then came back into the ring, grabbed the steel chair again, hit him in the throat, and, you know, this standard stuff. And then he left. So, but I think that in spite of those wins, house shows don't really project anything. And I think Baron Corbin walks away as the new Intercontinental Champion. Anyway, we have the United States Championship match. Chris Jericho, champion, versus Kevin Owens. Yeah, former best friends, except, no, he wasn't my best friend. He was just useful to me, as Kevin Owens would say. I'd like to say that Chris Jericho is going to win this one and retain, but no, I don't think that Chris Jericho is retaining. I think Kevin Owens is becoming the new U.S. champ, and there's one very simple reason. It's that Chris Jericho is going to be touring with Fozzy coming up shortly here, so he'll be off TV for quite a while, meaning that this championship reign has to come to an end, and the obvious successor is Kevin Owens. And then maybe when Chris Jericho comes back, there'll be a huge pop as he challenges Kevin Owens if he's still the U.S. champ. But you know, plans change all the time, so who knows. So I think Kevin Owens wins, and I think it might have something to do with outside interference from Samoa Joe, because that's a team or a faction that's forming, and it's going to be really interesting. Next, we've got the Raw Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way Elimination Match. Wow, some of these matches are so overbooked. We've got Bayley, who is the champion, versus Charlotte Flair, versus Sasha Banks, versus Nia Jax. This one I keep going back and forth on. I keep thinking that it might be Sasha Banks who wins and sets up Bayley chasing Sasha for the title kind of feud. But because it's her first WrestleMania, I think that Bayley might retain. And unfortunately, if she does retain, it's going to be with a controversial finish because that's been kind of her thing lately. And that'll be kind of disappointing, but I'm sure eventually she'll have a conclusive win over someone, be it Sasha Banks or whoever. And I think that Charlotte Flair is going to feud with Nia Jax for a while, so she will not be chasing the title. So I think it's going to be Bayley winning, but if not, then it'll be Bayley chasing Sasha for the women's women's Raw Championship. Next we have, and I don't know how to feel about this match. I'm kind of interested and kind of terrified. SmackDown Live Commissioner versus the Phenomenal One, Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. This, we all know what's going to happen. I'll get to the winner in a second, but we all know that Shane McMahon is going to have a spot where he jumps off of something really high, because that's what Shane McMahon does ever since Jeff Hardy left. Actually, he was doing that even when Jeff Hardy was there, so never mind. He's just going to jump off of something high. I do think that AJ Styles wins, but I think that AJ Styles turns face by virtue of Shane McMahon earning the Phenomenal One's respect, or something along those lines. The fans have already been clamoring for AJ Styles to turn babyface. John Cena is taking some time off. They're going to need a top babyface, and I think AJ Styles is going to be a phenomenal, babyface for the company, because they need one. So yeah, AJ Styles wins and turns face. I don't exactly know how he's going to turn, but he's going to turn, and it'll probably be at Mania, but if not, then it'll be the following night somehow, for some reason. Next on the list, we have the non-sanctioned match, Seth Rollins versus Triple H. Now, this one could go either way. You could have Triple H win and Seth Rollins chasing him down to get revenge, but at the same time, that doesn't make a lot of sense storyline wise. I mean, it does because he's got an injured knee and Triple H exploits that. And then what would happen if a healthy Seth Rollins were in that ring in the first place? So you've got that perspective. So Triple H could win. This could go either way. But just to be different, I'm going to say that Seth Rollins picks up the win against Triple H with Mick Foley somehow being involved. And the following night on Monday Night Raw, you're going to see an irate Triple H looking to just make Seth Rollins' life miserable, just a living hell. So that storyline makes sense, and the two will probably have a blow-off, I don't know, probably at SummerSlam. I don't think they'd go as far as, I don't know, would they go into the fall with this? Probably not. I don't think this is the blow-off match. This feud has been simmering for quite a while, and I'm picking Seth Rollins to win, and somehow Mick Foley is involved for some reason, and I don't have a good reason why, I just have a feeling he will be. Next on the list, we have the Power Couples Collide. John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maryse. Okay, this one I was not initially excited for. It's just more schlock. And there will be schlock in it, but honestly, the way that John Cena and Nikki Bella have been just shredding Miz and Maryse on the microphone, in spite of the skits, in spite of all that, they've just been destroying them on the microphone. I think that because of the promos, I think that somehow The Miz and Maryse will eke out a win, and yes, the evening will be saved when John Cena proposes to Nikki Bella. And I think that will be the big a big feel-good moment. So in spite of them losing, it'll be completely forgotten because Cena will propose to Nikki. She'll say yes, although it would be really much more interesting if she said no. But she'll say yes, and we'll sort of have a Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth type moment. So yeah. So I've got The Miz and Maryse winning, but it doesn't matter because the whole thing is centered around Cena proposing to Nikki. So there you have it. That's my pick. Next, on the list, we've got The Phenom versus the Big Dog. The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. Undertaker has one loss on the previously unbroken streak. It was 21-0 until he met Lesnar at WrestleMania, and then it was 21-1. He's won some matches at WrestleMania since then, but let's face it, we've all seen Taker recently, and he does not look good. And from what I've read is that before we saw him on Monday Night Raw, whichever time, he was limping and in a lot of pain, and when he chokeslammed Braun Strowman and then turned around, he kind of winced. Some people are saying that it was storyline related. Others are saying that he was in pain. Others are saying that he knew that he screwed up in kayfabe terms. He knew that he screwed up because the moment he turns around, he's going to be speared by Roman Reigns, which is what happened. But honestly, just looking at Taker, I feel so bad for the guy. It may be time for Undertaker to retire, and although I don't think he's retiring at this Mania, although this might be his retirement match, I don't know. But a big deal hasn't been made out of it, so probably not. So in the end, Undertaker versus Roman Reigns, who do I pick? I'm going to pick Roman Reigns to pick up the victory over Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's going to heel it up, though I don't think he's going to go full heel just yet. And the reason I think that Roman Reigns is going to beat The Undertaker is so that he has something in common with the one and only Brock Lesnar. And that sets up a feud that I will get into in a moment. So I have Roman Reigns beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Next on the list, we have the Universal Championship match, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. This is where the Roman Reigns stuff fits in, but let's continue with this. Goldberg, who is the champion, the Universal Champion, versus Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate. Okay, this one I think is pretty obvious, although it could be a swerve and I could be completely wrong. But how many times has Lesnar lost to Goldberg in just ridiculously short matches so far? On pay-per-view, I mean. It's been, 2 losses in a row? And then a spear outside the ring on Raw when he and Paul Heyman called out Goldberg. This one's going to Lesnar. I have almost no doubt. It would be insanity if Brock Lesnar didn't pick up the win here, because that would just make him look weak. That would mean 3 losses in a row to Goldberg? No. Brock Lesnar's taking this one. Brock Lesnar will be the new Universal Champion, and having broken the streak initially, and now having Roman Reigns beaten The Undertaker at WrestleMania, they have something in common, and that makes them natural rivals for the Universal Championship belt at a future time. Which pay-per-view will that happen at? I don't know. But I am fine with Brock Lesnar being a champ, even if he's not on every night or every Monday Night Raw. The reason I say that is because I like special attractions from way back. They would come in, they would do their thing, then they would disappear. And we can't miss you unless you go away. So yeah, I'm fine with seeing less of the the Universal Championship. It just kind of makes it more special somehow. So yeah, I am fine with Brock Lesnar winning. I like the idea, and I'm not crazy about Roman Reigns fighting Brock Lesnar again for the championship, because Vince is just enamored with Roman Reigns, and he wants to have that moment that Roman didn't have at WrestleMania at their first meeting. Yeah, schlock, but whatever. Lesnar wins with several F5s, in my opinion. Next, we have the WWE Championship match. Bray Wyatt, champion, versus Randy Orton. This one could be way overbooked with run-ins and whatnot, and magic and lightning and Sister Abigail and God knows what. But I would be shocked if Bray Wyatt lost. That doesn't mean that I think Randy Orton is going to win. I think we're going to have some sort of a screwy finish. I think there's going to be a ref bump, and somebody's going to pin somebody else. Like, let's say Bray Wyatt pins Randy Orton, or vice versa. Another referee runs in, counts 3. The first referee gets up from his bump after recovering because he's been knocked out. Says, no, Randy Orton doesn't win. Bray Wyatt did such and such, or he does a disqualification, or something. Long story short, the WWE Championship gets held up, and unfortunately, it may be resolved in a triple threat match somewhere along the line, involving Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt, and, of course, Randy Orton. I think that's all the matches that are listed so far. Something else might show up. Wait, didn't Samoa Joe have a match? I can't remember if Samoa Joe has a match or not. I looked on WWE's website and I did not see one. That is surprising that Samoa Joe does not have a match. Which means watch for Samoa Joe to do something big at WrestleMania 33. Anyway, guys, there you have it. Those are my predictions. Will I be right? Will I be wrong? Hey, what are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it. I love talking wrestling. Let's talk wrestling. I know this is a gaming channel, but it's my channel. If I want to talk about wrestling, we can talk about wrestling. It's cool. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's my list. We'll find out soon enough on Sunday. Once again, let me know in the comments what you think. As I already said, I want to know what you guys think. I want to know your predictions. There's no money riding on this. It's safe. Let's do it. Thank you so much for watching. To my subscribers, I love you guys. I hope you're wrestling fans, and I hope you enjoyed this video because you're wrestling fans. But even more so, I hope you enjoy WrestleMania, because it always is a fantastic show. Even weak WrestleManias are pretty damn good. So, I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. I hope you are too. If you just stumbled across this channel, if you just stumbled across me or this video, if you're a wrestling fan, a gaming fan, or just somebody interested in listening to me talk, won't you click that candy-like subscribe button and give me a chance to win you over full time? You'll not only be joining and helping to grow a fantastic, and I mean it, truly a fantastic community. You'll not only have my sincere gratitude, but most importantly to you, you'll always be notified whenever a new video goes up on the channel. This is Rob for Games New to Me saying, I can't wait for WrestleMania! Whoa, WrestleMania. Yeah, if you remember that version of that song, then you're an old school fan of wrestling. Anyway, guys, until next time, be good to each other, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.